All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All righty. We got that going there. And over here, we have everything we need. All right. About to go live there. There we go. Better view of Carol. How about that? Good morning. Good morning, YouTube land. Good morning. Thanks for being patient with me. Good morning. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome. Welcome to Coffee and Conversation with Carol. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Whew. It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Let me tell y'all something. Honey, it is raining outside. It is raining outside. And let me tell y'all, not only is it raining, it is lightning and thunderstorm. Here's the thing. If you're just now getting up, the thing is, good morning, good morning, sister, good morning. Let me tell y'all something. If you're just now getting up and joining me and looking outside, saying to yourself, it is raining outside. Let me tell y'all something. I had to work last night. So y'all know I'm a working person here. But look, it's been thundering all night. And let me tell y'all something. I have a fear of thunder and lightning. I have a fear of thunder and lightning. Good morning, Sarika. Good morning for joining me. Good morning. Good morning. I have a total fear of thunder and lightning. Honey, let me tell y'all something. Me driving home this morning, all we gonna say is, I was driving. First off, it got so dark outside. It got so dark. I'm talking about dark. And I'm like, ain't it the morning? Cause what is going on? Honey, yes, Mother Nature was Mother Naturing. Yes. Them storms was out there this morning and I couldn't see. I was thinking, I was trying to figure out how I was gonna get home. I was like, how am I going to make it? Right? Like, oh, I was really in a, as they say, pickle of a jam. I was in a pickle of a jam this morning. You hear me? Trying to figure out how I was going to get home. I'm not kidding. I was trying to figure out how I was going to get home. So yeah, I finally made it here this morning and I was just like, woo, I had to get off. It was really like literally, I'm telling you, that was a rough morning this morning. I don't think I've been in a rainstorm quite like that for a long time, but that was really good morning, Tanisha. Good morning. I was really scared and I'm terrified of thunder and lightning. And those are like, yeah. So if you have like those fears, you guys have those? You know, like a fear of like your fear, like when people ask you like what is your fear, like if you scared of or really like that'll get you in a hold of woo. Mine's is definitely thunder and lightning. I will be somewhere in a corner, like, yeah, it's okay. I really will either pull over a car. Good morning, Sarika. I will stop. I really don't even want to drive, but I had to get home. And so I can honestly say I kind of conquered one of my fears today because I didn't even pull over and just sit. I really drove in it as much as I could and much as I could see. I literally ended up getting off the freeway because it was so, I mean, I could see like the backlights in front of me, but rarely. And when I saw one of the big trucks, I would get behind them because I know the big trucks can see. So I'm like, okay, they can see. I can ride behind them, but it, if it wasn't none there, oh well. So I ended up getting off. So that was my morning this morning. So welcome to conversation, coffee and conversation with Carol. Thank you all for joining me today. Today is Wednesday. Wednesday. We are what they call is hump day, and we are halfway to the end of the week. Yesterday, let me tell y'all, I was on here and I had what I call some technical difficulties. Not only no technical difficulties, it was messed up. Is today Tuesday? Is it? Y'all know I thought it was Wednesday. Good morning, Sheena. Let me tell y'all something. This is what happens when you work third shift. You get your days mixed up. I really thought it was Wednesday. I said, welcome to hump day. It's Tuesday. Literally, this is what happens, y'all, when y'all work third shift. You really get your, because I'm like, oh, today is Wednesday. We are hump day. Today is Tuesday. We are not halfway there. Thank you for correcting me, Tanisha. She said, it's Tuesday, love. I said, Tuesday. Honey, let me tell y'all, the driving in that weather and working third shift, it'll have you like that. Because I'm telling you, I was like, whoa. She said, hump day tomorrow, friend. Yes, hump day is tomorrow, but I thought it was today because I was just like, whoa, we at Wednesday. But no, so Tuesday. So thank you for joining. Today is Tuesday. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Sheree. Today is Tuesday. Tuesday. And it is thoughtful Tuesday for me. We thoughtful Tuesday. Yesterday was mindset Monday. Today we have thoughtful Tuesday, right? And so here's the thing. I was thinking to myself, as people, we go through a lot, right? We have a lot that we have encountered. We have a lot that we go through. And sometimes we go through our things publicly, and sometimes we go through things privately, right? And so that got me to thinking, when we go through our things, and whether it's privately or publicly, it can be something that a lot of people know about. It could be something that don't nobody know about, depending on who knows you, right? If you're going through something, people might know it. When I say publicly, I don't mean like everybody talking about it on the internet or things like that. What I mean is, like your family and friends may know, or work may know, and or nobody might know. You might be at home, just in the privacy of your own home, or the privacy of your own mind, right? Going through some things, and nobody else knows what it is that's bothering you. Okay, so here's my question for you today. And I had some questions yesterday and I didn't get to them. So guess what was that? And because we had a new day, guess what I'm gonna do? Ask them again. So here's what I want to propose and put out there. Are you building relationships off of love or trauma? I know we visited this yesterday, but there were some technical difficulties. So I want to go over them again today. And then I want to know, what is your relationship deal breakers? What are your relationship deal breakers? Now, here's the thing. Even if you are married, you might have some relationship deal breakers. I'm married. I got some deal breakers. Hey, it may not be in the same way of get out, go away, but I got some deal breakers, okay? I have some of those. And then it says, I want to know, are you building relationships off of love or trauma? Good morning, JoJo. I want to know, are you building relationships off of love or trauma? And here's the thing about this love or trauma and building these relationships. A lot of times our experiences causes us to either look at a relationship differently or respond to certain things in a relationship differently. So are you building Are you building relationships off of love or trauma? What are you building relationships off of? And I think that's important, right? Because we have to know what we're saying and what we're doing in relationships. Do you ever recognize that for yourself? Because I think when you go through something, whether it's publicly or privately, we kind of base that on what we're doing. So are we building relationships off love or trauma? And I'll start off. I'll say for me, I believe in the beginning when I was building certain now this don't have to be just between your mate and you. This can be a sibling relationship. This can be a co-working relationship. It can be different things. In my earlier years, it was built on trauma. Yes, mine too. Mine too, friend. In my earlier years, I was building relationships off of trauma. I was building them off of situations that I had engaged in. So I build them off of that. I was either trauma bonding. Sometimes it could have been toxic too, you know. So I I totally agree with Sheena. In my earlier years, she says it was built on trauma. And I agree because that was me too. In my earlier years, I was building it off of trauma. I really was. I was engaging in conversations off of past hurts or pains, no matter who it was I was dealing with. It could have been dealing with the children, it could have been dealing with brothers and sisters, it could have been dealing with my own parents. Because when you go through stuff, that's how you do it. Last year, it was off of trauma because I was still healing, but I had to go through therapy. And guess what? And I agree. And that's fine. We've been talking about therapy. One of the viewers said last year it was off of trauma because I was still healing, but I had to go through therapy. And therapy is okay. I think a lot of us think that therapy is wrong. This is June too, by the way. Let me throw that in there while we're talking about therapy. And this is Men's Health Month. And one of the things that we talk about on here for this whole month, that when you are talking about health, and I know we're focusing on men because it's Men's Health Month, but even when you talk about health, you have to cover the whole person, okay? The whole person. That is mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. That you have to cover the whole person. Good morning, Vicky. When you cover the whole person, when you cover the whole person, that means that all of those areas are being touched. You don't just need to focus on your health physically. We're going to the gym, we're going to lose some weight. Guess what? Our minds need some healing too. Our hearts need some healing too. Okay. And our emotions need to be stable. All right. So when we talk about health, we're talking about the whole person. And so my question is today, are you building relationships off love or trauma? Are you building yesterday? Someone said that when they looked at their parents' relationship, they would look at it from there and then go into a relationship. So it was kind of both love and trauma, because depending on what you have witnessed, you go and it influences you, right? It's almost like a role model. You watch it and then you go and you do it, you know. And so from there, she said that she learned tips. She had tips to use going into her relationships. But I would totally agree on the two responses that I received today, is that one was in the earlier years, they built it off of trauma. And one said last year they was off of trauma because they were still healing. So when you go through things and you're not completely healed, when you're not completely healed, you will tend to revert back, right, to some things that you were doing. If you're not completely healed, you will tend to revert back. So if you're reverting back in those things, then you know that therapy is needed. Therapy is needed, and it's okay to get therapy. I want people to understand that too. There's nothing wrong with getting some good old therapy. I have therapy. There's nothing wrong with that at all, to have someone to talk to. And sometimes it's good, right? Sometimes it's good to have somebody to talk to that don't know you. That's the good thing, because sometimes I think that if you're talking to someone that knows you, sometimes responses might be biased, right? Do you agree? I think that sometimes answers can be biased. And I think that's what we talked about last week when we talked about friendships and what do you value in friendships. And some friends can be very honest, and some friends can be very blunt and very unfiltered in letting you know certain things. And other friends might, kind of be subtle with it. So there's nothing wrong with going to therapy and talking to someone outside the box. You might um find someone uh who can really help you. You know what I'm saying? When you go to therapy, some people don't know you, so it's thinking outside the box, giving you different ideas, giving you a different perspective on things. Because sometimes we can see things sometimes one-sided. Friends friends are sometimes, yes, men, yeah, friends are sometimes, they can you know sometimes friends can be subtle. Some can be straight up, but some can be subtle. So there's nothing wrong with seeing someone else, to kind of give you a different look or perspective on things. Are you building relationships off love or trauma? That's what we're talking about today. And I thank you all for joining me. And we're talking about what is your relationship deal breakers. Now, we touched on this a little bit yesterday, and someone told me that their deal breaker is watching a person and how they treat their children. If a person is not treating their children correctly, that is a deal breaker for that person. We touched on that yesterday. So we're talking about today, are you building relationships off love or trauma? And what are your relationship deal breakers? And I'm not just saying relationships between two people, because you might have some friends that you got some deal breakers with, right? Or you might have built some bonds at work where you might say, that ain't gonna work for me. That's a deal breaker for me. You might have some of those at work too. So when you're going through those things, but most definitely, focus is on, are you building your relationships off love or trauma, which is important. Because if you're building off of trauma, remember, when engaging with whoever and whomever you're engaging with, if it is traumatic, then some things may be repeated in that relationship. Just like if you have a friend that uh may have not uh you and that person just fell out of friendship, and the friendship was dissolved, and then you meet someone else and you're starting to develop, good morning Philip, you're starting to develop a relationship with that person, and then you start to react or respond in certain instances with that person. It can be from the past friendship experience. So, are you building the relationship off love, or are you building it off trauma? Good morning, Nisi. Good morning. Because those are important things. So when we talk about building relationships, when we talk about building relationships, one of the things that we have to know, that we have to have trust in that person. We have to know too, in trusting that person, we have to allow people to be honest, not rude, not rude, but honest. Okay. And those things like that are all important when building certain relationships, because that constitutes whether your continuedness or your continued forwardness in the relationship will come about between love or trauma. Because if you build it on trauma, for example, everything is going to be built out of emotions. It's going to be built out of emotions or an experience. And you're going to be looking for that every time. But when you build it out of true unconditional love, then you're going to understand there might be flaws. There might be some things that are just not all the way correct, but it's okay. But it's okay. You know what I'm saying? So you can't, you know, when we have been through some things, we have to learn. One of the people said, some people think honesty is rude. Um, they do. Some people do think honesty is rude, but here's the thing. I don't think honesty is rude for me. And I always say for me, because everybody got an opinion, okay? And everybody feel differently. But I think the way honesty is delivered can be rude. I think some people's delivery can be cleaned up a little bit. I think that's the way to say that. Some people's delivery is not always the best. So I don't think I really don't think people think honesty is rude. I think the delivery of the way some people give the honesty is what the situation and problem is. And then what happens is, in turn, the person has interpreted it that the honesty was rude. So I don't think it's the honesty itself. It's how it's delivered. And then that's when that person takes that interpretation of that and say, you know what, this person's was rude. The honesty was rude, but it wasn't the honesty itself. It was the way it was delivered. And I will agree with you there that people think it, but it's the way that it's delivered. So it's not quite the honesty part, it's just the way that it's given. And some people don't know how to give honesty in a appropriate way. Some people are rude when they do it. I used to be very rude. I'm blunt. Don't get me wrong. If you know me, you know me. I'm very blunt and I can be very unfiltered and very honest. But I used to be rude and aggressive and defensive about how I felt in my honesty, but now I'm not. So that's one of my growths within me that I've noticed as I've gotten older and dealing with certain relationships. I no longer have to make the delivery so aggressive and so defensive. I can deliver a nice response without hurting someone's feelings, without being rude, without being loud, and without just downright being disrespectful. There's a way to deliver it. So I can attest that I was once like that, but I am not anymore. I can be honest and I can be upfront and I can be respectful of a person and their feelings too. Even being honest with them, you can be very very respectful. So I learned that. So that some people think honesty is rude. That was that response for there. My friend Sheena gonna say you were, laugh out loud. We've been knowing each other. I think Brandon, my son, is 26. So me and Sheena been rocking for 26 years, from school to everything else. And she said you were. So I mean, if you want to know somebody that know me, she know me. So she said you were. I was a hot mess, but I'm so much better now. I am so much better now. I really am. I am so much better now. I promise I am. I promise I am way, 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 way better. So, good morning. Good morning, hubby. We are talking about, are you building relationships off love or trauma? And what are your deal breakers? What are your deal breakers? Honestly too, but I love you so much. I do too. I love you too. I am. I was just so honest about it, but I'm so much better now. When I say I'm my growth it's better. My growth is better. And I come to you every day, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 9 with coffee and conversation with Carol. And like I tell people, you don't have to have no coffee, drink some tea. It's just a 30-minute thought-provoking conversation that I think is needed in today's society. It is needed for us to get out and communicate. It is needed for us to dialogue about some issues that otherwise people don't have, I feel, safe spaces to do so. And this is a safe space, and you are able to dialogue and communicate and engage with me back and forth for 30 minutes on topics that I choose. Or you choose. You can inbox me and give me a topic and we can talk about it. So, like today, we're talking about, are you building relationships off love and trauma? And what are your deal breakers? And we're doing that for 30 minutes, and I think that the engagement helps people from different perspectives to help see different things, to help and to know and to understand, and might inspire or give someone some hope, because we really need hope in these days, looking at the news and all of these car accidents going on and just people going through losing their loved ones, and different things of that nature. So we have to be able to give back to the community, give back to society, and give it back in a very positive way, put back things in a very loving way. And I think that by engaging with you all every day, Monday through Friday, from 8:30 to 9. Yes, yes, yes. Follow my link in my bio because I do it on YouTube too. Take me with you while you at work, baby. I'm on there. I'm on there. Um, is a good thing. So I thank you all for joining me on today. My voice is a little raspy. Like I said, I did do third shift last night, but it's okay. So a little tired, but not that tired. And I thank you all for joining me today on Coffee and Conversations with Carol. Again, join me tomorrow on Wednesday, because Lord knows I started and thought today was Wednesday and it's not, it's Tuesday. And I thank you for my friends and my family who quickly corrected me and said, "No, love, today is Tuesday." I was already on Wednesday. Ain't that something? Um, I want to leave you all with this. I want to leave you all with this. I am in charge of how I feel, and I choose to feel peaceful on today. Okay. That is your affirmation for today. You are in charge of how you feel. So you choose what you feel today. You're in charge. Okay. Just like I'm in charge of me, you're in charge of you. So, you say that, I'm in charge of how I feel. So I choose to be peaceful today. You can choose to be happy. You can choose to be joyful. You could choose to be honest. Whatever you put there, and that's for you. But choose it on today and walk in that today, and feel that today. Embrace it today and know it today and be confident in what you choose for yourself today, okay? And always live, love. Okay, never stop laughing and always forgive. All right. All right. I thank you for joining me on today. Again, this is Coffee and Conversations with Kira, where I come to you live 8:39 o'clock for 30 minutes of thought-provoking conversation and engagement. I love you guys. And again, join me tomorrow at 8:30 here on live. I'm on YouTube. Follow my link. I'm looking for 11 people to follow me on my Coffee and Conversation page. Go to Coffee and Convos on Facebook and click follow. And when you do that, once I get to 100, I will be going live from my Coffee and Conversation page. I'm actually live on Instagram as well on Coffee and Convos with Carol. So I have 3 different streams to go to so that we can engage and talk. And I'm on all 3 talking. I thank you all for joining me. There's some things that's going to be coming down the line. Just wait and wait. I got some things for you. Don't be surprised if you see me out. Don't be surprised if you see me out. I already saw me. So don't be surprised if you see me out in a different state or in a different setting because this can travel here. So I thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, live, love, and never ever stop laughing. Always forgiving, one love. And I thank you. You guys have a great day. See you tomorrow.